Good, good evening. I almost say good morning. This is Chris on Around the ATL. It is Tuesday, May 5th. I got to make sure I don't say April. So this evening, I'm doing my second rant of the day, and this time I'm doing it live. My initial idea of doing rants of the day was that I would do a recorded version and just upload it. But tonight I have a little bit of time, just a little bit, where I wanted to do this live because I wanted to show people something in particular. So tonight's rant, by the way, make sure you subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio channel on YouTube, and make sure you at least show one person the episode if you like what you hear. And as well, make sure you go back and watch the previous episodes over the last week or two. Monday, NFL draft review for the Atlanta Falcons. Also, Game 6 review of the Hawks versus Knicks. Go and check those out, as well as of course, past episodes of Around the ATL. Hopefully, I can get through this and not pass out on everybody. So, again, on the internet, I saw something. And there was a response to a post from actually a week ago, I believe. Might have been sooner, but it was a while ago from what I remember. And the comment was basically to the extent of potential assists, missed shots. You're just making up stuff now to fit the narrative. And I sat there and I was really, again, not going to say anything because I'm like, this person really is crazy. Okay. But I didn't initially say that. All I said was, well, the thing is, you're wrong. And if you really truly believe that, there might be an issue there with you personally as a human. As Google, there is such thing as the internet. Unless my internet, what's going on there? Unless you have a Nokia 3360, you should be able to pull it up on your phone. You don't need a desktop. You don't need a laptop. You could pull it up on your phone and say NBA.com, statistics, assist. I'll get to that in a second, but that's very simple. That's basically what I said. But then even worse than that, last year at the beginning of the season, I had Steve Holman, the broadcast veteran of the Atlanta Hawks, on the radio for 92.9 The Game. I had him on the show. And it was preseason, or I don't even think preseason has started, actually, now that I think about it. It was before the season started. And I was doing a review of the previous season. One of the things I mentioned was, Steve, that former player, again, for the second year in a row, led the league in potential assist at 20.7. What do you think about that, Steve? Steve Holman, the godfather of Atlanta Hawks radio, been here forever, said, Chris, that's a lot of missed shots. Now, if you're calling me crazy for making up something that you just don't think is true, are you also calling Steve Holman made up, a liar, for acknowledging an obvious statistic? I'm getting to it in a second, but that's wild to me because, again, to be able to be so brave to say things out loud and hoping that nobody checks is crazy to me. Again, there's a such thing as bad journalism and good journalism. I actually have an episode about bad journalism and good journalism on Around the ATL. Go back and look at some of the past episodes. But to just be randomly just saying things that you know can be refuted, saying things that you know aren't true, makes no sense. So we're going to use potential assist as an example. It's very interesting. First of all, if you go to NBA.com, go to stats, go to players, go to passing, just right off the bat, you could go back to 2013. That's 13 years ago. You know who was leading in potential assists back then? Rajon Rondo, Chris Paul, Ty Lawson, Ricky Rubio, and John Wall. Some other players of note, Jeff Teague of the Atlanta Hawks at 13.9 potential assists a game. He created 16 points a game off of assists. 16. That's going to be something very, very interesting when I go through this a little bit. I want you to remember that. Some other players of note, Steve Nash, 2013. Remember, he was on the Lakers at that time. Not the same Steve Nash, but he had 13 potential assists a game average. Mike Conley. We just saw Mike Conley in the playoffs 13 years later, but 13 years ago, he had 12.8 potential assists a game average. LeBron James is on this list. It's kind of way down there. 12.6 potential assists a game. Playing with who? The Miami Heat. That's a lot lower than who led the league that particular year at 21.5. 2013 Miami Heat. Who was on that team? Very interesting to think about that. Who else is on here? I don't know. Kevin Durant, OKC at 10.5. Don't necessarily think of him as a passer, but he had 10.5 potential assists a game with the OKC Thunder way back when. So let's jump ahead into the future. Let's go to this season, 2025 regular season. And you click over to potential assists. And who is at the top for this particular season, guys? And again, don't forget to subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio YouTube channel. Make sure you send this to at least one fan of primarily Atlanta sports, please. Falcons, Hawks, Braves, Atlanta Dream, Atlanta Vibe, UGA, Georgia Tech, everybody in Atlanta in the state of Georgia. The Joker at 17.6. He created 28 points a game from assists. He led the league this year. Cade was right behind him at 17.3 potential assists a game. Of the Detroit Pistons, he created 25 points a game per assist. He was second in the league in that. It's very interesting to note that former player somehow was 5th in the NBA this year. He only played 15 games and somehow still 14.8 potential assists a game. That is wild. He created 21 points a game per assist. Now, let's go back to the year 2024 season for the NBA. And we click over again to potential assists. Now, one of the things that this comment that made me create this rant was missed shots. Missed shots, you're just making that up. I guess nobody on the Atlanta Hawks missed any shots. Now, you know, I've done some episodes in regards to rosters, and I just recently did that in regards to when I did the Game 6 Knicks versus Hawks review, and I went through the playoff games that the Hawks have played over the last few years. I showed y'all that, right? Let me actually, before I get into the past, we just saw the Boston Celtics miss 93 shots in a game. Y'all don't think those 93 shots mattered? We saw them miss 49 threes in a elimination Game 7 game. You don't think those missed shots mattered? They shot 27% from three. They shot 40% from the floor. That didn't matter? They lost that game by 9 points. So you're trying to tell me that it didn't matter that if White or Pritchard or Hauser or somebody hit 2 or 3 threes and maybe a couple of twos and they win that game by 3 points, that doesn't shift history a little bit? Maybe Tatum is able to come back for the second round. I don't know how bad that injury was or whatever that had to have him sit for Game 7. You don't believe that matter? All those missed shots. We literally watched one person shoot 17, 18 threes in a game. And missed all of them, basically. How many did he hit? 5? So I'm just asking a question here. Do you really say that out loud and really believe that missed shots don't matter? This was a playoff game. This ain't the regular season. This was a Game 7 elimination of former NBA championship teams about to get knocked out the first round. The 2024 season, as I aforementioned in the interview I talked about with Steve Holman, that former player that used to play for the Hawks played 76 games, and he led the entire NBA for the second straight year, by the way, in potential assists. Okay. So I just need to qualify just that statement alone. Okay. Now, when you click on potential assists, it shows 20.7. So you round that up, that's 21 potential assists a game. Now, if some of you also have been watching around the ATL over the last few years, you know I've done a lot of actual full game reviews, shot for shot. And in those game reviews, especially over the last year and a half, I included how many points did we leave on the board from potential assists from one player. And I showed you these games that we're losing by 10 points or less. I told you exactly how many games we lost by 10 points or less in the 2024 season. You know how many games the Hawks won? 40. How many games did we lose by 24 points or less? You go look that up. Don't believe me. Don't matter, right? And you tell me that potential assists don't matter. In that particular season a year ago, that former player led the NBA in points created by assists at 28.8 points a game. He also was second in the league in total points generated for his team. You know who was first? The Joker. You know who is second in points created for their team by assists? The Joker. So it's 1, 2. Those are the guys. Who are the others in that category? So that former player led the league with 21 potential assists a game. Joker was second at 16. Tyrese was third at 15.8. Cade was fourth at 15. And LeBron James was fifth at 14.8. Right behind him was James Harden at 13 and Luka at 13. You see how those numbers were going lower and lower? Because those teams have a few more players that can hit a shot a little bit more than what the Atlanta Hawks had a year ago. You see how that works? They have a few players that can hit a shot a little bit more. Jalen Brunson is way down here at 12.5 potential assists a game. Because he got Cat over there. You got OG Anunoby. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is at 12. Jason Tatum at 11. Darius Garland at 11. Fred VanVleet at 10.9. Tyrese Maxey at 10.6. You see what I'm saying? Because they got more people who can hit shots on a regular basis. That's why. Now, also, let me make sure I qualify this. Some of these players that are on this list don't really pass that much either. So that kind of got to even that out just a little bit. So let me pick some people who actually do pass the ball halfway decent. Russell Westbrook, 10, playing with Denver last year. Curry, again, but he's at 10. You see what I'm saying? But Jalen Brunson passes it pretty decently. He's at 12. John Morant's at 12. Chris Paul a year ago at 12. Luka, 13. So that was the 2024 season. And again, think about how many games the Atlanta Hawks lost a year ago by 10 points or less. A lot of it was because we couldn't hit shots. I literally showed you games where we lost by 2 points, 5 points, 6 points. Points, small points. That Dallas game with Anthony Davis destroyed Okongwu. We didn't even double team Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis got the last bucket of the game. He drove from the three-point line all the way and got a layup on Okongwu. He didn't get it on that former player. Why would you put the smallest player on the team against Anthony Davis? Why would you do that? That's stupid, right? Isn't it? We lost that game by 2 points. And I showed you that game. I showed you Muhammad Gay missing all those threes. He hits one of those threes. We might have won the game by 1 point, but he missed all of them. And Anthony Davis let him shoot it. I showed you the video. You don't got to believe me, but I showed it to you. And you don't think missed shots matter. Again, I don't believe half of y'all play basketball ever in your life. Missed shots do matter. And you keep passing it to people, it's their job to hit the shot. There's no way you can blame the person passing you the ball. Again, maybe some of you do that. Someone passes you the ball, you miss the shot, and you say, oh, well, you knew I wasn't going to hit that shot. How come you passed me the ball? I guess some of you do that. Let's go to 2023 real quick. 2023 season, when you click potential assists, again, that former player, again, led the league with 18 potential assists. 18. Luka was third that particular year, playing with Dallas, 16.9. Oh, by the way, so points created, 27 a game off of assists. And actually, Tyrese actually led the lead. Let's see, I think he led the lead. Tyrese led by a point at 28. Luka was third at 25, right? But you lead the league, and then you look at the record. You look at the record. And it's startling when you just look at the record. You go look for yourself. Joker is fifth on this list that particular year, 2023. LaMelo Ball is in there for the games that he played. He didn't play a lot of games that year. He played 22. Team went 7-15. He's at 14 potential assists a game. There's Chris Paul again. Got Giannis up in here with 12.9. Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones is in there. Jalen Brunson way down way, 12 even. His team won 49 games that year because, again, people can finish. Let's go to 2022. 2022 season, he was number 2 that season. That former player was number 2, right behind Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese had 19.8. The other person who don't play here no more was second. Remember, I've said that for his entire career, he's been no less than 6th in the NBA in potential assists. That junk matters when people aren't hitting shots year after year after year after year. He was second in the year 2022. Looks like he was third in assist points created by assists. James Harden was ahead of him. Let's go to 2021 season. 2021 season. Chris Paul led the league that particular season with the Phoenix Suns at 19.6. Harden was second, 18. Murray, who was actually with San Antonio at that point, 17. And right behind him was that former player. They actually had the exact same amount. DJ and that former player, 17.2 potential assists a game. That particular year, remember, Hawks made it to the playoffs, right? Points, points created by assist. That former player was third in the NBA that particular season. Chris Paul led the league. James Harden was right behind him, and that former player was in third. Let's go to 2020 season. Now, if you remember, the 2020 season, guess what? We had some better players on our team. Russell Westbrook actually led the league that year, 21.9. In third is that former player at 17. And that is with better players on our team than 2019, because we're about to go to 2019 in a second. And let me just say this as well. Just think about how much better we could have been if we weren't so high on the potential assists. Because again, to even have, you know how much you have to pass the ball to get potential assists in the first place? You got to pass a lot. You see the people who are up here, Chris Paul, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Luka. They're all up there every single season, but in different rankings, right? 2019 season, the year of the Trash Brothers on the Atlanta Hawks. Y'all remember what I'm talking about. Number 1 in the league was LeBron James at 18. You know who was second as the team was going 18-42 or whatever it is? At 17 a game, potential assists a game. Now, what you also need to do, I'm not going to do it tonight. As you go through this, if you go to NBA.com and click on players and click on tracking and click on passing, go and then look at what the former player that I'm talking about, look at what his assist totals were for each year. And think about, if we had a few more people who could hit shots, just think about how much more points per game we would have, because we got people hitting more shots because somebody keeps passing them the ball, expecting them to hit a shot. Do your job, right? Or it don't matter. It don't matter. You got a layup, you missed it. Alley-oop, you missed a dunk. Wide open 2, you missed it. Wide open 3, after wide open 3, after wide open 3. You got somebody averaging 10 assists a game for their career. They're third all time in assists in NBA history per game. But no less than 6 for his career. And many times, top 2 or 1. Just think about that. Yes, it matters because the record matters. To say it doesn't matter means you don't care about the record. Because the first year of that particular player that we're talking about, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was 6th. His rookie season, he was 6th. His rookie season, he was 6th at 15 a game. He graded 20 points a game off of assists. He was 6th that year, his rookie season. Just think about that. What if we had a few more people to hit shots? We would have made the playoffs. I told people, if we had played a lick of defense, we would have made the playoffs 2018 and 2019. Play a lick of defense, but also if we had a couple more people to hit some shots. Guess who was 7th that year? Jeff Teague, playing for Minnesota. That's a trip. He was at 13 a game, though. That's 2 shots right there. 2 extra shots a game made. Change your record. You'd be surprised. So, again, it's right there. You don't got to believe anything I say. You can go to NBA.com and click on stats and click on assists. It's not that hard. And for someone to make a demonstrative statement and call people names and all this kind of jibber jabber or whatever, when you can clearly go and look it up, is wild to me. Facts matter. Facts matter. Saying things that you know aren't true when you know can be refuted makes no sense. It makes you look like an idiot. Again, unless you don't, first, if you don't know how to read, that's one thing, right? I'm just saying, I'm just being honest now. You don't have the internet. Because remember, this stuff here, not in newspapers, because we don't have newspapers anymore. At least I don't see any, right? So you don't have that. Way back in the day, yeah, I used to be a little bit of a hoarder. I used to have all these sports sections with Atlanta Hawks and Atlanta Braves. Y'all remember back in the day, you have all the statistics and everything from the games and stuff like that. I used to have all that stuff for the Hawks and the Braves. I wish I had kept some of it. Okay. But you don't have that no more. So if you don't have you can't read, you don't have the internet, and you have a Nokia 3360, which I used to sell back in the day, by the way. Okay. I used to sell those block phones way back in the day, too. You see what I'm saying? Those are not going to get you the internet, right? So if you don't have that, yeah, you might not see this. But you can ask a friend to look it up for you because it's there. So to try to discount, oh, well, potential assists, they don't read that. So missed shots, we don't have nobody on the Hawks that have ever missed a shot. Let's see if I still have it pulled up. I may or may not. Let's see. This says Hawks Dallas. Let's see. I don't know which game this will be, but let's see if we get fortunate this evening. This looks like this is it. So in that game I was referring to, and I can't remember the year right now. I think it was 2024 season. That particular game, okay. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, that's the overtime. If you go to around the ATL, look for the game review of Atlanta Hawks in Dallas. But right before that, I actually do a review of the Miami play-in game, the overtime. And I showed y'all that, okay? Oh, by the way, the Hawks lost 20 games by 7 points or less, by the way, that 2024 season. All right, here we go. April 2nd was that Dallas game in 2024. The final score was 120 to 118. 120 to 118. Anthony Davis had 34 points, 15 boards, and 5 blocks. Who in the world was guarding him? It wasn't that former player because, again, why would you put the worst player on defense against one of the best offensive players that you could possibly have as a big? Why would you do it? And think you're going to win? That's stupid. It didn't happen. I can prove it. I showed you all that game. Go look it up. Clay had 17. Dinwiddie had 14. Dallas had 48 points in the paint, 20 fast break points. Dallas hit 15 threes in that game. In this game, Zach was 4 of 11 from the floor. Muhammad Gay was 5 of 13 from the floor. LeVert carries, I am not your Casanova. LeVert was 4 of 10. Mann was 1 of 4. Niang was 2 of 6. Dyson was okay, 7 of 12. Congo was 7 of 15, had 20 points, 14 boards, 2 steals, 2 blocks. But unfortunately, guess what? He was the primary on Anthony Davis. Hawks had 42 points in the paint in that game, 8 second chance points, 13 fast break points. Hawks hit 15 threes. We lost this game by 2 points. Dallas hit 45% from 3. We lost by 2 points. So in this particular game, again, this is one of the games I started doing. Well, it was a year before this. But I started adding the missed points that we leave on the board from missed shots generated from that former player that don't play here no more, right? First quarter, Muhammad Gay, wide open 3. That's 3 points. We lost by 2. Second quarter, Okongwu missed a layup. These are, by the way, what I'm talking about right here, these are missed shots created by that other player, aka he passed them the ball in position for them to score. It's an immediate shot opportunity. That's why it's called a potential assist. Get it now? You got it? First quarter, Muhammad Gay gets the pass from that former player, missed the 3. It was wide open. Second quarter, Okongwu missed a layup. Niang missed a 3. Niang missed another 3. Niang missed a layup, and then Dyson Daniels missed a wide open 3. That's 13 points in the second quarter left on the board. We lost by 2 points, and people want to tell me that missed shots don't matter. That's 16 points left on the board at halftime. It's a 2-point loss. And at halftime, the Hawks were leading 72 to 67. We lost by 2 points. By the way, that former player had 25 points and 12 assists. He created 50 points on the floor for the team, by the way. But it's his fault. They lost this game, apparently, though, right? Third quarter, Zach missed a wide open three. Muhammad Gabe missed a wide open three. Muhammad Gabe missed a wide open three. Muhammad Gabe missed a wide open two. Barlow missed a wide open layup. That's 13 more points. We lost by 2. That's the third quarter. Missed shots don't matter. Fourth quarter, Vic, wide open 3. Muhammad Gabe, wide open 3. Y'all heard, how many times have you heard that name now? Okongwu missed a layup. LeVert missed a wide open 3. That's 11 more points. That's 40 points left on the board from missed shots. But I have to be told missed shots don't matter. Nobody else on the team has a job to do. Nobody has to be responsible or accountable. There are no consequences for people not doing their jobs on a regular basis, which is the difference between great teams and mediocre teams, is that you just don't have enough people to do the job that they're designated to do on a regular basis. That's it. That's the difference between the Hawks and all these other teams for 60 years now. The Atlanta Hawks have 2 Eastern Conference Finals appearances. That's it. 40 points left on the board. And again, that former player wasn't on the floor for the last shot of the game. Anthony Davis was, Okongwu was, and Anthony Davis took the ball. I wish I still had the video on here, but I'm scared to post it because I don't know what YouTube's going to do. But go back and watch the episode because I show it to you. I show you the last shot of the game. Go look. You don't got to believe me. You can watch the actual shot. And Anthony Davis takes it all the way to the hole and lays it up. And that's game. Who did he score it on? See, that has to matter at a certain point. People want to make up stuff. See, when you want to make up stuff, you say, oh, well, that player is the one giving up all the points each night. He's giving up 30 points a game. You want to know who gave up all the points in this particular game? I'll tell you real quick. Okongwu gave up 35 points in this game total. That former player gave up 13. Zach gave up 9. Barlow gave up 6. Muhammad Gabe gave up 2. He went on the floor a lot, though, playing defense. Karras, 12. Vic, 6. Niang, 4. And Dyson, 9. So I ask you again, do you know how to do math? Because 35 points and 13 points is a difference there. Who gave up the most points? It's not that former player because he gave up 13. The one who gave up 35 is the one who gave up the most points in that game. And we lost this game by 2. Not 30. 2. If we double team Anthony Davis, maybe we'll win the game. Not the whole game, but a couple of times. Get the ball out of his hands because that's the one that's hurting you. Anthony Davis in this one game, let me scroll back up again before I get off of here for the night. I went too far. 34 points, 15 boards. How come nobody's blocking them out? Somebody's not doing their job. The smallest player on the court is supposed to block out Anthony Davis when we got other players on the court? It's not 5-on-1. It's not 5-on-1. I used to play 2-on-1 back in the day in my younger days. But 5-on-1, that's absurd. It's not 5-on-1 in the NBA. It's not 5-on-1 in any game. It's 5-on-5. And everybody has a designated job. One person was doing their job in this game. A couple of people. Dyson was doing his job to an extent, and some others, and Okongwu on offense was doing his job. He was doing pretty good. Problem was, let me see something else real quick. Let's see if it's up. I don't know if I have it. Don't know if I have it. Let's see. I might not have it. Don't look like I do. Oh, yes, I do. One more example, and I'm gonna get off of here officially. Because I was told that missed shots don't matter, right? Don't matter. Don't matter, right? You remember the Luka 73-point game? We lost that game by 5 points. We lost that game by 5 points, not because that former player gave up 73 points, because that's just not true. I can prove that. I've shown y'all the game footage. We didn't lose that game because we gave up 73 points to Luka. Want to know why we lost that game by 5 points? Because we left 16 points on the board from shots created by that former player. That's why. First quarter, Saddiq Bey misses a wide open three. That's 3 points right there. We lost by 5. Second quarter, JJ misses a layup. Also, although I actually mentioned in here, Clint misses a layup too in that second quarter. I can't count that because he didn't get a pass from that former player. He just missed a layup. You know, that's what Clint was doing. Third quarter, DJ missed jumper. DJ wide open three. That's 5 more points. We lost this game by 5. Fourth quarter, Saddiq Bey misses a three. Bogey misses a three. That's 6 points. That's the fourth quarter. It counts the most, right? In that fourth quarter that we lost by 5, that former player was 2 of 2 from the floor, 2 of 2 from 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, had 9 points. DJ had 11. JJ had 5. Saddiq Bey had 10. And then Bogey went 1 of 6 for 2 points. So it's not Bogey's fault, right? Who went 1 for 6 from the floor for 2 points. It's the guy who went 2 of 2 from the floor, 2 of 2 from 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, had 9 points. It's his fault. It's not DJ's fault, who was 4 of 8 from the floor, 2 of 4 from 3, had 11 points, right? JJ had 5 points. It's not his fault for not scoring more points in the fourth quarter, right? I guess. I don't know, right? Let's go to see who gave up all the points in this game. That Luka had 73. And by the way, if Luka had 73, how the rest of the team get another 70-something points? You remember the score of that game? That we lost by 5. We lost that game by 5, right? Clint gave up 25 points in that game. Clint Capella gave up 25 points in the 73-point game by Luka. Saddiq Bey gave up 21 points in that game. Jalen Johnson gave up 18 points in that game. Notice I didn't say that other player yet. Where is he at on this list? He gave up 11 points in that game. So that person that everybody thinks gives up all the points in games, not only did we have 16 points left on the board in that game, but that player had 30 points, 11 assists, 50% from the floor, 2 of 7 from 3, not great. Had 3 steals, only had 2 turnovers. He created 52 points in that game for the team, but it's his fault we lost by 5. He gave up 11 points, had 30 and 11, had 3 steals, only had 2 turnovers, but it's not Clint's fault, not Saddiq Bey's fault, not JJ's fault. Not their faults at all, right? They don't have nothing to do with all those points being given up. I think that's weird to say that out loud, folks. It just is. By the way, Matthews barely played, gave up 8 points. 2 of them was threes. Patty Mills barely played at all, gave up 2 threes. We lost by 5. Patty Mills don't give up those 2 threes. We win the game. You see what I'm saying? Like, for real, those are 2 threes right there. That other person, the former player, didn't give up multiple threes. Clint gave up 3 threes himself. Saddiq Bey gave up 2. JJ gave up 2. Okongwu gave up 2. Patty gave up 2. DJ gave up 2. And Matthews gave up 2. Bogey gave up a 3. We lost by 5 points. That's just one game that I showed. That's just one. So again, as I end this rant of the day, and I'm making this, again, this is called a rant of the day, which is why I am ranting like this. Because it's crazy for people to keep saying stuff that they can't prove. You can prove it, do it. If you can't, stay silent. Because when you say stuff that's easily refutable, it makes you look crazy. Don't know the emoji thing? Or what's it called? The meme? It's crazy. Your head explodes because this is Googleable. Or you can just go to NBA.com and click on play by play, and you can look at every possession in that game and see it for yourself. I remember a couple of years ago, there was an OKC game that I showed with the Hawks. And I showed this one possession where Clint Capella got out the man's way as the man was driving, and Clint basically let the man lay the ball up. And the guy I had on the show with me, he was a guest host. It was John Harris, I believe. He said, Chris, can you replay that? And I replayed it. And I replayed it a couple more times. Like, Chris, I missed that. I didn't see that, Chris. Man. And the reason it was so startling because it's just how it looked. And then when you realize, well, wait a minute, how many times does he do that in the game? See, sometimes when you see the game, you're watching the game, you're watching, you're on your phone for that, that quick second or whatever, right? Or you're watching, but when you break down each possession, that's why I started doing it. I said, this is why, again, hopefully you subscribe to the IMT and Worldwide Radio page. It's scrolling down there. And hopefully you check out some of the former the past episodes, I should say. I am going to try to start doing some more game reviews. It's been really tough to do that. I am thinking about doing the playoff series with the Knicks. I think really people need to see that front and center. As messed up and depressing as it is, I might do it. But the reason I started doing it was I got tired of people saying, well, that person is the one reason we give up all these points. And I'm like, I just don't think that's true. Well, let's find out, because maybe I'm wrong. Right? I can't make up what happens in the game. I can't control nothing, but let's find out for real. And that's why I started doing it. I said, I'm going to do each shot, just like, for example, 11th shot of that Dallas game. Why is Clint trying to guard Exum? Who is Bogey guarding? Since Clint is out of position, Bay has to go to Lively. DJ is on Luka. THJ and Green are open. Lively chooses Green for the last shot Dallas hit for the game. This is on Clint for being out of position because there's no reason for him to be doubling Exum. That's the 11th shot of the fourth quarter of that Dallas game that we lost by 5 points. That's what I do because I can't change what happens in the game. I got to talk about everybody because there's a whole roster. And that's what a lot of people out there won't do. You don't want to make everybody accountable for their lack of doing their job the whole time. There's always going to be gaffes. I give up points when I play. I just played Sunday night for the first time in almost 2 months. I gave up. Well, see, actually, I don't think I actually did give up points. Now I think about it. Actually, I don't think I gave up any points, actually. My bad. Because my goal when I play is my guy can't score. Whoever I'm guarding, they can't score, whatever I got to do. Now, if I switch on someone and they score, that's a little bit different. Because now I got to play Allen Iverson or I got to play Wemby. I told I did a Sunday night basketball video not too long ago, and I had to play Wemby. I got blocked for the first time in years. I'm still mad about it. I don't know where it came from, but he blocked my shot. It shocked me. It messed me up in the head. I was mad. I got him later, though. You can say old school always wins. A lot of people don't want to hold the entire roster since 2018 all the way up accountable for the foolishness that we had to endure. We've had some good players here as a whole, but we had way too many other players here who, what did Stephen A. Smith say? They can't play. We have Frank the Tank in here. We have Bruno Fernando on this roster twice. What did he bring to the table that was so good that we had to bring him back? What did he do? I showed y'all a game. He gave up 30 points in the game as a big. That was an Indiana game. 2023 season, I believe. At the end of the season. Indiana scored 150 points in that game, I believe. Bruno Fernando and Mohamed Gay gave up 30 and 29 points respectively in that game. What are we talking about? They're not the reason that team scored 60 points on us by 2 players, but it's the other player. It's the other guy. That's foolishness, guys. It's foolishness. Don't you see that by now? Anyway, I'm going to go. That's my rant of the day. Make sure you subscribe to the IMT and Worldwide Radio YouTube channel. Go check out the NFL draft review show for the Atlanta Falcons that I just did yesterday. Check out the Game 6 review. Go watch all the game reviews that I did for this Knicks series, all 6 games. I think you'll be very interested on how I broke everything down and showed you facts. I know people don't like facts. You just like talking and screaming and all this kind of stuff and making up stuff. But I like to use facts. Okay. I actually go by what actually happened in the game. All right. So go check that out. Go look at some of the game reviews over the years. I think you would appreciate those. Again, we're going to see if I start doing those in the near future. We'll see. I do have some new episodes of the show coming up that will include some Braves talk, some Atlanta United, some Atlanta Dream, because their season is about to start, and we know we got Angel Reese and all that kind of good stuff. College football is kind of around the corner just a little bit, right? The NBA draft, it will be sometime in the future, but the draft lottery, the ping pong ball thing, we'll find out who the Hawks will actually get. So that'll be some interesting stuff coming up. We'll probably talk some more football as well. Since my co-host wasn't able to make it the other night, we talked about trying to do something to kind of get him included on that because he really wanted to be there yesterday. He just wasn't able to. So all that being said, again, that was my rant of the day. Facts have to matter. Stop saying things that you know can be refuted. Don't say things that you can't prove true. That's bad journalism. When you post, you're a journalist all of a sudden. It is what it is. You have to make a decision. You're going to be bad or you're going to be good. You can maybe even be in the middle a little bit, but at a certain point, NBA.com exists. Google exists, right? Bing exists. ChatGPT exists, right? All these formats are out there to where numbers. You see what I'm saying? And you can't discount what's there. This stuff happened. Because otherwise, why does Dominique Wilkins have a career at all if his numbers don't matter, right? ISO Joe, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Mutombo, Smitty, Mookie, all these good players that we've had over the years, but none of them have championships. None of them have been to a championship. Kevin Willis, Speedy Claxton, who we're still paying under the table. I know we are. I just know we are. Marvin, Sheldon. Sheldon was on the roster for 2 seasons, y'all. Go look and see what his averages were. Go look. Don't be mad at me. Anyway, guys, let me get out of here. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'm going to talk to y'all very soon. And hopefully y'all enjoy. Make sure you tell at least one person about the episode if you enjoyed it. Until next time, peace.
Dribble, pass, throw, catch, hit, slide, grab, respect, around the ATL. Dribble, pass, throw, catch.